And now, here's the breakdown with Justin Hunte.
Shade 45, we got Justin Hunte here. What's up, bud?
Jude, how's it going, man?
Fucking awesome. Today is a Kanye day. It's all yay all day.
Oh, yeah, all day. A little Drake in there, too, a little Drake. So I thought this was a really interesting conversation. Fivio Foreign, he's a Brooklyn drill artist. Super dope. He was on 2 songs on Kanye's Donda. He was on Off the Grid and OK. And he did an interview with LA Leakers. They asked him, if he had any studio rules. And he described the new rules he's implementing in his recording process based off of his time in Mercedes-Benz Stadium recording Donda with Kanye West. We have a clip.
Okay. You got studio rules when you in the studio?
Yeah, everybody got to wear Fivio merch.
Okay.
Fire.
Respectable.
I learned that from Ye.
I like that.
Now, we went to Ye shit. He made us all wear like.
You had the vest on?
We had the vest on. He made us all wear Donda merch.
Shit.
So we on Donda timing, I guess, to get us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Donda timing.
Donda timing.
Put you in the right.
He gave everybody Yeezys.
Fire. Everyone got a pair of Yeezys?
Yeezys, certain pants. No, this is what he do. It's like a uniform. He give us like Yeezys, some type of pants, some type of cargo looking.
It was like black cargo.
And then Donda shirts. That's what he do.
Uniform.
Uniforms.
Uniform.
So I guess it take away the the egos. And
that's a very expensive work uniform, bro.
Yeah, I ain't gonna front. It's going.
You see
I
what
heard one of them
vests
vests
how much?
like 20K right now.
20 racks.
That's what I'm saying.
I know who sold it. I know the guy.
Facts? Who bought it or sold it?
I know who sold it.
So I think that really puts in just the frame of mind, like when you get into album mode, right? Like I think we're real comfortable looking at Jay-Z now with his, Basquiat hair, but he used to grow his hair out when he was recording his albums before, right? And then obviously when the album rolls out, you clean it up or whatever. That's why this is our first time really seeing Hope with long hair. But the part where Fivio talks about it takes away the ego to have everybody in uniform really stood out to me. I mean, Kanye has so many people attached to so many of his albums at this point that how do you keep a who's who top 35 of hip hop in line for one vision? And he gives them all, I guess now what looks like $20,000 vests and calls it their uniform. So I thought that was
and it's like self-promotion. It's pretty smart. It's like he gets to promote himself and he's got everybody on the same page. It's kind of like what a lot of schools do when they have you wear uniforms. That way you don't stick out too much. You can just kind of get in where you fit in and put your little flair here and there. So that was quite smart of Kanye. How many people are on Kanye? First off, how many tracks are on Kanye's album?
I think there's 27. I'll take it with John if you could look it up. It's like 27. I think it's like an hour and 47 minutes. It's a really long project.
And how many rappers are on it?
I'm not sure about that. I mean, I feel like there's got to be 30 on here. And that's not to mention the people that aren't obviously on it. You know what I mean? Like there's the way Kanye records is Kanye. I've got a couple of friends who worked on this album, right? And the way Kanye records is he has everybody write a verse, right? Everyone's writing to different songs. And then he comes in the studio and he's like, I like that part. 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 Right. So it's not necessarily traditional ghostwriting. It's not like you commission, hey, I want Jude to write me some comedy jokes. And then now the jokes are your joke. It's like a smorgasbord of like, oh, this is cool. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. And then he kind of meshes it together. So, and that's on the
raps it.
Yeah, he'll rap it.
Wow.
And that's how he puts his stuff together. So I think being on a Kanye album to me would be awesome and awful at the same time, right? you get the chance to be around one of the most creative people in the history of the world. You get to build, your brand off of the wave that inevitably comes when you're surrounded by Kanye West, anything. But you're on an album with like 100 people on. Like,
yeah.
What do your points look like? It seems like it's better for maybe the artist to a degree than it is for the artist's bank account, when it comes to that kind of thing.
It actually mirrors like contemporary art where famous artists will come up with an idea and then hire a whole bunch of people just to do the shit for him and then call it his own. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, and I'll say this again, I'll be frank, I'm not upset at Quincy Jones Kanye. I'm not mad at DJ Khaled Kanye. I don't feel like at this point, the last thing I want Kanye spending his time on to me is a bunch of songs. I don't want Kanye sitting down making a beat by himself at this point. I think he's doing way more interesting stuff. I think it's interesting with him, with his Gap, his Gap deal, his Gap line that's coming out. I think Yeezys are way more interesting than him making a new sound. He's making new sneakers. I've never seen these shells before. He's got like 10 new shells of sneakers that never existed. Everyone else is still making some version of Air Force Ones or shell toes or, Chuck Taylors. I personally think there's way more things for him to spend his time on than sit down making beats. But just being able to galvanize a vision is cool to me at the same time. I still think that's cool. But can you imagine? Can you imagine spending all this time in Mercedes-Benz Stadium working on an album and you're not sure you're on it?
Nah, yeah. But like that's kind of the I was talking with Troy Ave and it's like that's rap. You know what I mean? It's like you might be on a track, you might not be on the track. You might make that shit, you might not make that shit. That's the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, we've seen that in recent weeks. There's a lot of people who are upset. Soulja Boy was upset he wasn't on Kanye's album after he submitted a verse. His verse was trash, so I'm not sure where Soulja's coming from, but he's good at trolling. Chris Brown was upset. Andre 3000, he delivered what I consider the verse of the year. He didn't make the album. He made a statement. He released a statement alluding to the fact that he didn't want to take out the profanity, and Kanye cut all the profanity from the album.
So because he's all like church going and shit now.
Well, he definitely has the Joel Osteen fan base.
Damn, that's fucking crazy. Let's talk classic rock. He had Todd Rundgren. How do you say it? Rundgren?
Todd Rundgren.
Rundgren. He's a singer and a producer. He actually did "Bat Out of Hell" for Meatloaf. Play a bit of his song.
Well, this is like
very well respected producer within classic rock. What did he? And he worked with Kanye on this project. What did he have to say?
Yeah, so he was a part of the Donda sessions. 88 Keys is a longtime collaborator with Kanye. He brought Todd into the process. And so he had a few very interesting quotes too around this project. One, here's his first one. This is what he believes was the reason the album was rushed. He says, "I realized why they hurriedly wrapped the whole thing up and put out what is obviously really raw, unprocessed stuff. It's because Drake was running the whole process. He was too afraid that Drake would one-up him, so he hurried up and released the album the weekend before Drake could get his out. And in the end, Drake ate his lunch anyway." Now, a lot of people assume that. I think it's very clear that Drake is living rent-free in Kanye's head. But as for whatever reason it is, I personally tend to lean on like the Michael Jordan aspect, right? Here's another kid from Chicago who's overachieved. Michael Jordan would read the newspaper and John Stockton would say something crazy or something that wasn't even a slight. So Jordan needed to use that as motivation to still care every day. And he was better at that than anybody in basketball. I tend to think that that's what Kanye is doing more than anything else. Like a lot of people like to talk about Kim or whatever. I tend to think it's when you're at that height in music, who else is still around, right? Like I was in a recording session 2 weeks ago with Terrace Martin and Robert Glasper. And it was on the top of the US Bank building in downtown LA. It's the highest studio west of the Mississippi. It's 59 floors in the air. And when you're that high, the only other buildings you see are other banks. All you see is Chase Bank. All you see is Bank of America. Like there's no other building. Everything else is small. And if you're at Kanye's height, who's even around in music to motivate you? I tend to think that has a huge part of it because again, Kanye's doing so much other stuff than sitting around making beats every day. But so that's what Todd said in this interview. He added a couple of other things I think are interesting.
What did he say?
So they asked him about, he said he worked on 3 albums worth of stuff with Kanye. He has over 3 albums worth of stems over a 1.5 year period. He said he didn't mind working on the gospel stuff. If you want to sing about Jesus, go ahead. I don't care. I'll help you do it. You know, if you want to sing about your troubles with your wife, go ahead. I don't care. Then he says in July, he decided to leave the entire process. This is almost a month and a half before the album comes out. And Todd says, you know what? When it got into the home stretch in July, I just said, that's enough for me. I have no idea whether any of this is being used. There's a possibility that I'm actually in there somewhere. There's a possibility that I'm not. There's so much junk in that record. Kanye West is a shoe designer. He's just a dilettante at this point. Nobody would regularly make records like that unless they had stupid money to throw around. Nobody rents a stadium to make a record in. Nobody flies the entire world of hip hop in just to croak one syllable, just so you can say that everybody was on it. That was very revealing to me too. You know, it's literally what his track list looked like.
Did Todd make the record? Just out of curiosity.
He's not listed in the credits.
Well, there you go. All right. Yeah.
He's not listed in the credits.
Just
but I mean, can you
shot?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, I look at this and it's really interesting, right? Here's this guy who's made all these people have made classic records in their own genres and across hip hop and then now in rock. And maybe there's a part that would feel insulting. I might feel insulted if I was Todd to go through all that stuff. And who knows what's around. I mean, make a record, but at some point, maybe your pride comes in. And he bounced in July.
All right, let's go to Claude in Newark, Connecticut.
Shoot. Hey, man, it's an honor to be on. I love both of you guys. I listen, I follow Instagram, everything. I'm down. I think Kanye's an incredible artist. We all know that. He's put together a lot of bangers. We grew up where we did. We played our music loud too. But I'm not hearing the other side of this where I'm looking for that part where he's, kind of controlling. You guys say he dresses all these guys up in fits. You hear about the story with Drake talking about how he, supposedly could try to control them, like make them jump through hoops, through, rings of fire. Like, am I going to get any of that, or I'm just going to get a lot of this? He's a good guy, great artist, and you guys really appreciate what he's doing.
Well, one, I think he is. I'm sorry, Drew. I'm just going to jump in real fast. I think he's a great artist. I do appreciate that. I actually like the track that he released with Andre 3000 a lot. Kanye took a lot of flack because Andre released such a great, beautiful, moving verse, and then here comes Kanye dissing Drake on it. But Kanye didn't pull the punch. I like when artists are raw and upfront. I definitely don't think that I'm over here. What am I going to say to Kanye West? He's made 5 of my favorite albums of all time. It's not like this guy hasn't already delivered a whole lot. I think what he's doing now is so different and fresh that it's an experience in itself. I think it's cool that, he makes these people jump through hoops. They should jump through his hoops. He's Kanye West.
888-742-3345. And a lot of people forget that, like, he did come up as a hip hop head. He dug in the crates. He really did. He was really on that hip hop shit and kind of like grew out from that and was able to, move into auto tunes and all that other shit and work with the times. He's one of the few artists that's able to stay themselves but bend with the times, which is hard to do. It really is.
Yeah, it really is, man. I mean, he has a line on the song with Andre where he says, I made 808s, so everybody's my son. Well, there's a lot of singing going on in rap right now. He didn't create it, but he's definitely influenced this whole wave.
Yeah, there is a lot of fucking singing and rap. Love it. Fucking love it. Yeah, thanks. Let's go to Nick in Indiana.
What's happening? Love the show, man. Jude, met you a couple times at Cannabis Cup. Awesome.
Cool.
One thing, I think saying he's one of the most creative people on the planet is a bold statement. Not taking away anything from him. I love the dude. I like what he's done. But there's a lot of creative people out there doing things for society and shit. And he
name five. Name three. Name three right now that are more creative than Kanye West.
3 people. I'm talking about like executives and stuff that run businesses and shit.
Those are least creative people. The executives are the least creative.
I'm gonna put it in my perspective. Like, I build homes. Like, I can buy all the nicest shit and put it in that house, but that doesn't mean I'm so creative that I designed this and it's all my idea. I'm taking great product that other people are making and designing and putting it all together. There is some creativity to that, but I'm just saying it was a little bold. I'm not saying he's not creative. I was just saying that was pretty extreme to say on the planet.
I vehemently disagree. There's a difference between inventing the screwdriver and then hiring the guy who's great with screwdrivers. Maybe that's what you're saying. But if you're building a house, you didn't invent wood. You didn't invent the screwdriver. You didn't invent the saw. You're using other people's tools already, and you're just putting your own thing on it. So what's one level up from that? It's the same thing. I don't think necessarily I don't think necessarily that's the best analogy that you dropped.
Well put. Kenny in DC.
Yo, why are you dick riding Kanye like he's a genius? He needs to be making his beats and doing all that shit. Like, other interesting stuff, that's why his music is fucked up. Because he's doing all this other shit. The album's trash. He's not a genius. Drake's album's trash too, by the way, but like, come on. Like, stop dick riding Kanye. His shit's weak. Oh, he needs to be doing some other interesting shit. Fuck that. Make music, make beats. Like, Kanye's best shit was when he was like making like soulful ass shit. Now it's just garbage, man.
Well, that's definitely laggard
Cardi on there.
This definitely sounds like
Playboy Cardi on there. You got Playboy Cardi on his shit. The fuck? Come on now. Kanye probably don't even listen to that shit.
Do you think there should be more Ariana Grande? I'm not sure who you're hoping to. Do you want more Ariana Grande on there? I can't tell your taste.
Nah. I don't need to hear fucking Playboy Cardi fucking mumbling on a Kanye track. That shit is fucking whack. Get off Kanye's dick. It's people like you that made him fucking weird. He's not a fucking genius. He's just a nigga from Chicago that's fucking weird now. Like, fuck out of here. His best song on there is the one with Hov. And that's because Hov's on there. That other shit is fucking garbage, man. Get off his dick, man. You sound like one of them fucking weirdos. That's the fucking problem.
I gotta tell you
that.
that.
Out of here, man.
He sound weird as hell, man. He's the last person I'd invite to a cookout. This is laggard language. Sometimes people have a problem with evolution, man. They want you to stay in the same place forever. That's why you're calling in the show and you don't have a show.
Let's go to Iatrust.
Hi, this is Iatrust from Atlanta, Georgia. And I just want to say that Kanye West is absolutely the best artist of our time. And he represents every genre. And that's why I love him so much. He's very diverse. And he should be called Maestro Kanye West, not just Kanye West. We need to put a handle on his name. Maestro Kanye West.
Watch out. He might do that shit.
That's a good idea.
Might hear that shit and do that shit.
That's the next album. Maestro.
I've told this story 100 times before, and the first time I heard him rapping, I was like, he fucking sucks. And after fucking 2 or 3 years, I went back and listened to that same song, and his cadence hadn't changed, he changed the way rap sounded. He changed rap. He got people to rap like him, which is not easy to do. And that speaks volumes. And it takes balls. You know what I mean? That takes balls to be like, look, this is my voice. This is what I'm going to say. This is how I'm going to spit it. And you're going to like it or you're not.
That's the most hip hop thing there is.
Yeah. I know, really. Because I was just like, I'm over here doing like ad libs and I'm like, man, this dude is fucking trash. And then sure enough, fucking 5 years later, Gold Digger comes out and I'm like, he's saying the same. It's the same fucking cadence, dude. Like this motherfucker ain't changed one bit.
I like that.
So what do you like better, Drake or Kanye's album?
I mean, I'll be honest, man, and maybe I'm in the minority here, judging from 2 callers ago, I guess. But I can't get through Drake's album. I've tried 4 times. I'm 78% through. I get lost. I get bored. I get tired. I think there's some good songs at the front of it. I like the Knife Talk joint too. That Way Too Sexy, which is the #1 song in America right now, that took that I'm Too Sexy song, remember from the 90s, Jude?
I'm too sexy for my hat. Too
Yeah.
sexy for my hat. Yeah, okay.
I hated that song the first time. Now I hate it twice, you know? So I don't think Drake sounds inspired. I look at Kanye's album, it looks like he at least tried. I listen to the Drake album and I feel like Drake might be tired of rapping. He's still doing subliminals. One of these guys got to just blow up the whole earth and just really diss each other. Like that's the only thing left.
Nobody wants to do that shit though. Nobody wants to burn a bridge. Everybody wants to be friends, and it's just kind of boring. Rap's become really boring.
Yeah, it's a LeBron James influence, in my opinion. It's like everyone wants to team up and tackle the man and talk about their money. You know?
It's like try to get one rapper to shit on another rapper, and he's like, "Oh, I ain't gonna fucking hate on his game," and it's like, yo, he goes against everything you believe in, you fucking hypocrite.
There used to be, I read Bob Lefsett's blog. Anybody who cares about music or the music industry, all cross genres. There's this music journalist named Bob Lefsett. I think he has a show on Sirius too. And he sends out an email every day. And, you know, for the past 6 years, I've been reading this dude, and he's so right on this point. If I'm looking for controversial opinions, world-changing music or movements or art that's going to move the world, I'm not looking at music anymore. These people are all just teaming up and turning into mini corporations on their own. I don't see anything challenging, and I don't necessarily think they're challenging each other. At least Kanye still does that.
Oh, there it is. Well, we spoke Kanye. Drake is beating him in the polls. What, he's got 9 out of 10
on the Billboard Top 100. Yep.
On the Billboard Top 100. But how's Kanye doing?
Kanye sold over 300K first week, which I think is really strong. But Kanye broke the mold, man. He had listening parties in football stadiums. He made $15 million before the album was available. One listening session was just him on a football field by himself in a red jacket and mask, walking around posing.
Right.
He had Soldier Field in Chicago. They built his mom's house and he got married again. You know what I mean? So sure, yeah, I guess Drake is winning on the who's streaming these songs every day list. But in terms of an expression through art and music and rap, it's not close to me.
All right, there it is. All right, Justin Hunte, the company man on everything. Thank you so much, bro.
Appreciate you, Jude.
Thanks for speaking Kanye with us. Let's go.
All right, Joe. Peace.